Friday afternoon. I was fresh off work when she called. Said she had some good news. She got promoted at work, and that's worth a few drinks and to go out and groove. I was excited, hella delighted that she thought to come me, but I had to play it cool, as if I knew she'd be calling. Let's celebrate tonight. Wear your sexy dress and sexy heels shine. Let's dance and drink and vibe all night. Join you and all you do is you. Now you know, like I know, that you've got options, girl. But it don't matter, cause I'm so after with you. We done been eating good, big, talking good, see, drinking good, yeah. Slow and need to see you stepping. We can two-step, 1, 2. We can bounce. We can move a little closer. Come on, let's get down. I guess now would be the time to whisper in your ear. The chance of never getting this.
Well, it's almost 5 p.m. on a Friday in Chicago, and those are the sounds of Bray Lene, a neo-soul artist from Little Rock, Arkansas. You can call that young man grown and sexy. You know, I think he really wrote that song for me. 5 p.m. on a Friday. Had to have me in mind. Welcome to Rhythm Flow Radio on the #1 internet radio station, Intellectual.com and iHeart radio station. I am big and beautiful. I am fat and oh so fabulous. I'm plump, but I'm pretty. But most of all, I'm confident. I'm the big girl of internet radio, your host, Katie Lowe, and thank you for exploring internet radio. Today's show is sponsored by Oval Cleaning. Dependable, reliable, reasonable rates, and efficient. Oval Cleaning Inc. Professional cleaning service, commercial and residential, carpet, windows, floors, and more. Office and post-construction. Call Mike for your free estimate at 708-528-6825. That's 708-528-6825. Oval Cleaning for all your cleaning needs. Well, we have live in our studio acoustic guitarist Phil Circle. You want to say hello to everybody, Phil?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Katie. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. But before we get up close and personal, because we're going to get in Phil's business, we're going to see where did he get his musical talent from? Did it fall out the sky? Did the stork give it to him? Or did one day when he was a little boy, he picked up the broom and started strumming? You know, kids have all kind of stories about how they got into music. So before we get up close and personal with Phil, how was your Labor Day?
It was wonderful. How was yours?
Mine was awesome, but listen, we had another wild and deadly holiday weekend.
Heard this. Yeah.
In Chicago. 13 people got shot. Should I say 43 people got shot. 13 of the 43 died.
It's one unlucky number we're talking about.
Okay, the number 13.
Right, yeah.
That reminds me when I have to do a show and it's Friday the 13th.
Oh.
The last Friday the 13th, you're not going to believe this. I got locked out the studio. It was like, it's a Friday the 13th. It's like, what is that, Murphy's Law?
Yeah, if anything can go wrong, it will. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I got locked out.
Oh.
So I'm never gonna forget that. That'll be every time I hear that lucky number 13, that'll probably kind of resonate in my mind. But one of the things that was so unfortunate about this Labor Day weekend, there was a movement. Well, I should have wrote it in my notes. I can't even think of it. I'm very sorry because these guys need their props. It's 100 black men or something like an organization. They did an extraordinary job of trying to cut the count down by patrolling the neighborhoods during the holiday because they figured that it was going to be like a bloodbath out there.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was they started early, putting posters out and flyers out and loading up Facebook with messages so that black men, not only men, period, would come out in their neighborhoods to help out. And we still had 43 people to get shot and 13 of that 43 to die. But one of the ironic things, there was a pregnant woman from the back of the yards, got shot in the stomach, and still delivered nearly a full-term baby.
And they're both doing all right.
I think they're doing okay.
I mean, other than ruining their Labor Day and a belly wound and all that
listen,
fun stuff, right?
She's pregnant and she got shot in the stomach. She's got a baby that maybe have been 8 months because the baby was almost a full term.
Uh-huh.
But they say the bullet wasn't intended for her.
It seems like they rarely are. That's part of the problem, isn't it?
Part of the problem is
them for anybody.
Them bullets don't have zip codes.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we always say it wasn't intended. And another bad thing about it is you're killing kids, 6 years old, babies, 6 months old.
Yeah.
So do you think that you live in Rogers Park?
Yeah.
I know that you all have a page up there. It's is it Joe Moore or some alderman up there?
Yeah. He does a lot of stuff there with making the police accountable, and he puts together picnics and all kinds of stuff. And it's a relatively crime-free area, but for the gang violence.
Yeah, well, he's got a Facebook page, and it says, Does Rogers Park have a gang problem?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Facebook page titled that. So you say the crime is there's not a lot of crime.
Right.
Do the gangs cause a lot of crime? I mean, what's that situation there? You live there.
Well, as far as my wife and I are concerned, we've certainly run into no problems.
Okay.
I mean, I was born just right there in Evanston, so since I was a kid, I've been heading over to Rogers Park. That's the gateway to Chicago since I was a little boy,
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew what area in Rogers Park to stay clear of.
Okay.
And I maybe once in my lifetime back in high school, and I'm 50 now,
Mm-hmm.
was walking down Howard Street, and some guy stopped me on the street and said, "You got to pay toll to get by here." And I laughed and kept walking. And that's the only time that I remember that, because it's the only time I've ever run into anything.
Wow. You got to pay a toll?
Yeah, guys, you got to pay a toll to
walk.
walk by here. And I was like, I do? And just kept walking. And, maybe I was just being naive or whatever. I just kept going, and that was the end of it. I didn't have any problem. But I don't know. We haven't run into any issues. It's the third time I've lived in Rogers Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived in a lot of other neighborhoods around Chicago. And I really have rarely run into problems. I don't know why I don't get problems. Deep voice, tall, I don't know. What,
I'm going to put this out there. Don't get upset.
Okay.
Do you think it's privileged?
Why? Because I'm white?
Yeah.
More than likely.
I'm just honest.
Well, no, I prefer honesty.
Yeah.
Well, I remember working with a guy when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and he was working with public housing. And one of the first things he did with one of the public housing projects he's working in, he had them take out the metal detectors, and he put a sign on the door to the office come on in, the door's unlocked. And he was working with the Muhammad Ali Community Development Corporation.
Okay.
And then there were two gangs involved there, and he went and got them to, make peace. And he started bringing in money from the Section 3 of the Housing Code, where the people in public housing get the first bid on work to be done, like fixing bathrooms or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the bids with the backing of a bank, a local bank, with the backing of a contractor who would train them. And in 3 years, all these people were, like 30 or 40% of the people there were employed and trained in a trade, and he sort of proved through that economic discrimination is a big part of the problem. And but then I remember asking him, I said, Dr. Averett, if I walked in there, would I be at risk, walking in that project? He said, no, because you're a white guy.
Well,
he said, if you walk in there and they shoot you, the cops are going to be all over it.
Often when you hear them, when you hear community activists speak, they often talk about economic development, empowerment, and they talk about those social problems that they're not jobs. There's no like training. They often speak of that. You just put a scenario out here on the radio where somebody says, look, here's some jobs in this co-op or this project or low-income housing, whatever it may be. Hey, take some of the young men, women that live here, teach them the trade, let them fix up their thing, let them have the jobs, and it turned things around.
Yeah, I know that the easiest thing for me to do, just in the spirit of rigorous honesty, the easiest thing for me to do in high school was sell pot.
Okay.
Because I made more money doing that than any job I could get, And it wasn't like I was hurting for money. My dad was well off, but it was easy to do because there was nothing else really pointed out to me that I should do.
Okay.
There was, I could go get a minimum wage job, and I could plan on going to college if I wanted to, get the money to do it and what have you. But the easiest thing for me to do was whatever was immediately available. And this is the thing too, is every human being has character defects, and when you push upon those character defects, ideas that it's okay to be shady if you're doing this, or if you're making money, for instance, because we create this economic issue with everybody. You have to have money, you have to have a title, you have to have these sorts of things. Then all of a sudden they're gonna miss the whole point of being human, which is to be happy and to make other people happy, to help other people. So because we have these things pressured upon us to succeed in some way that is false, then even a kid like me who didn't want for anything is going to go do the wrong thing if it's easier. And it's made clear that it's kind of okay to be a little shady as long as you're successful, And humans, one of the things that qualifies us as a primate to anthropologists is we like to be in groups. So a gang, that's a group. I'm gonna, and for me in high school it was the hippies. Everybody wants a group, right? So where do you fit in? And if somebody feels empowered by groups with guns and violence and told that it's okay to be shady, then all their character defects are going to be exacerbated.
But for a group of young white boys or young white teens at the time that when you were doing your little thing, it was just that they were just doing something. Silly boys will be boys. Yeah. But when we don't
blame them because they're white.
Right. Yeah. So when we turn that skin color.
Oops. Yeah.
That's not boys that gonna be that's gangs.
That's black boys.
That's gangs.
Yeah.
That's terrorists.
Yeah.
It gives it a different name, and that's one thing I can say about this world. And I found this, and I was going to use it at the end of the show, but since we have been talking on the subject, regardless of race, regardless of your race, people should be looked upon as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if we could get rid of the race card, which is very hard for us to do,
Oh yeah.
you know. And I had a talk with a young man his name is Emmanuel Marathol, that I was in a movie that he produced, and he and I was just talking about this, and he is black, but he wasn't born in the United States.
Mhm.
And I was explaining to him, I don't care where you were born, if you have this color skin, the police is going to treat you just like any other black man. I mean, you can come from Puerto Rico and be this dark. Okay, because in Puerto Rico and in Mexico, they come in all flavors.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
You can come from Portugal. You can come from Rio.
Yeah.
Okay, Canada.
Mhm.
I mean, all of these countries, they have some dark-skinned people. Now, I read an article that over in the European countries, they don't when they fill out an application, they don't even talk about skin color.
Right. It's an absurdity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't do that. Only in America.
Yeah, well, apparently other places are still aware of the fact that if you're my shade of skin, you're actually the minority of the population of the planet. So
Yeah.
it's
I always say,
but we're the quickest ones to jump in a tanning booth, right? Yeah, go figure.
"Oh, no, you did. No, you did not say that."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! No, you did. I don't. I am.
There's such an absurd aspect to our culture. There's one race, the human race.
Yeah, it is.
And there are different ethnicities, and again, back to what the groups we like to be in. We like to be in groups of people. I'm proud of my Irish heritage, for instance. But it's there's I don't know. It's such a strange and hard to figure thing in American culture.
Yeah,
that
it is.
We do this,
It is.
and I wish we could figure it out. I hear a lot of people say this, and I agree with it. Like back to Rogers Park, that walking around Rogers Park is just an incredible mix of people of all kinds of ethnicities. Sometimes
It's multicultural.
40 languages spoken in the
Wow.
schools. And a lot of people say this is what the world will be like one day. And everybody's walking past each other, nobody's wincing, Everybody's just walking down the street, wait, hi, how you doing? Or just nodding or just walking. Nobody's sweating anything,
But I always say that this is one of my sayings, that it's like the politicians that are in Washington. I say if they were there before the computer was invented, they need to leave. And there's a lot of them that are sitting there making policy and voting on bills and stuff that need to be up out of there, because it's a known fact. Racism, it's not inborn. You're not born racist.
No.
It's something that is taught.
Yeah, totally.
Okay? So I always say that as long as you have that group of people that are constantly teaching it, it's hard to get rid of it. Listen, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back and allow Phil to get set up, because listen, we have another topic that we're gonna talk about. But before we talk about that topic, I want Phil to get his guitar together, because I can see sitting up here talking a whole hour. Okay?
Yeah.
And we're not, and that's not why you're here. But I'm glad that you weighed in on the subject. One of the subjects I want you to weigh in on is about what do you think about ITT. But we're going to take a small break. And while we're taking this break, I'm going to allow you to get yourself together with your guitar and get your stool and sit up here. And we're going to talk a little bit about Phil, about where he was born. And like I say, how did he pick up the guitar and start playing? Plus, you're a music teacher, right?
Yeah.
You play keyboards too?
Well, I had to learn it in college, but I don't play it. No.
You don't play it?
Yeah. Guitar and voice are what I teach. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just play this cut while you get yourself together. This is a cut by one of the host of Intellectual Radio, and it's called Friends. It's called Chicago Kid. I love to play this song because this song talks about, I mean, being a Chicago kid, growing up in Chicago. What is it like? What is it like? What do I have to deal with? So we're gonna take this break, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna get up close and personal with none other than Phil Circles. Hey, Flabby, we hope you're watching.
Right.
Okay, go get your guitar and get it together.
What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out. What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out. Come and fight for a Chicago kid. You'll never know until you come and check it out. What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out.
911 is a killer on the street. 911 and I think they want me. What you mean that you cannot save me? I don't wanna be the next kid on TV who wants to be a hashtag when they grow up. I love my city, why can't they see that we had enough? Chirac, I mean Chicago, the only city I know, and I know it very well.
What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out. What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out. Come and fight for a Chicago kid. You'll never know until you come and check it out. What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you? Come and check it out.
Getting sick and tired of it, man. Why they killing all the kids? Sisters, brothers, uncles, cousins, teachers, preachers, all of them. Wonder who gon' come and save us. Wondering why I'm in danger. These streets, I love my life, and now I got to try and change the world. Yet I'm only one, but don't forget my two companions. Friends, we are, yes, every one day you gon' understand it. Got to be the change you wanna see in the world. Got to be the change in every boy and every girl.
I was walking,
He was walking,
I was walking.
he was walking.
I saw friends down the street, they was talking. You know 5 people here, you know all of them. Ain't no James here, girl, I'm slim skid. My 8 suburbs, I'm a city kid. I'm a suburb, cause I'm out here catching all this wind on some city shit. That shoulder,
That shoulder,
look at that shoulder.
look at that shoulder,
That shoulder,
that shoulder,
get that cold shoulder.
get that shoulder.
Any person trying to take advantage of me, you'll get finessed like a suburb kid in the city. I was walking, I was walking.
What is life for a Chicago kid? I'll never know. How about you?
The mic. Let me tell you what it's like. Chicago, no Similac up in your bottle. Cause babies grow old. Cause the city's so cold. West side too late shore. Children can't go outside and play no more. Can't play.
Ah, yes. What is it like to be a Chicago kid? That song is by Friends, Chicago Kid, featuring Malcolm London, Brian Sanborn, and Cat's Eyelash. Producer is Jerskin. And believe me, these young people are related to Angela L. Johnson, one sister to another, an intellectual radio host. I'm telling you, Chicago is just full of talent. And I want to welcome you back to the #1 internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, an iHeart radio station. This is Rhythm Flow Radio Show at 5 p.m. with the big girl of internet radio, Katie Lowe, and sitting to my left is none other than...
Phil Circle.
All right. So, Phil, I had other topics that we're going to talk about, but
Right.
you know what? Let's get up close and personal with Phil Circle. I
All right.
mean, were you a Chicago kid or Illinois kid?
I was a suburban Chicago kid. Yeah, I was born in Evanston, and then grew up in Wilmette.
Mhm.
From about the age of 9, I'd be taking the L downtown to visit my dad all the time at work. And I was fortunate in that we never wanted for anything monetarily. My dad did well by us, and everybody went to college if they wanted, and that sort of thing. The other thing we were really fortunate in is he grew up in Appalachia, and when he was 10, he came to Chicago for the World's Fair in 1933 and fell in love with the city, and believed forever thereafter that travel was the most important education. So if he went on a business trip, he'd take one of us or all of us. Like when I was 7 years old, we were in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
I fell in love with that, that music right away. But always, as soon as I was done with high school, made a beeline for Rogers Park. And like I said, I lived in Rogers Park now. This is the third time. I lived in Wicker Park before it was gentrified, and I lived in Albany Park, and I lived in Lakeview, and I, all over the north side and stuff. Took a stint in New Mexico and Albuquerque for a few years.
Play music down there?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And I was heavily influenced by the Tejano music down there, the Latin styles, and I really enjoyed that. My wife is from Wisconsin. I call her my Wisconsin Creole because she's, black, native, and French.
Oh, okay.
She grew up in Wisconsin. So we were up there for a little while, and couldn't wait to get back here. Nothing against Wisconsin. It was beautiful where we were. And that influenced me a little bit musically too. There was country stuff, We just had to get back here. I mean, she acts, I play music, and there's no better place in America and one of the best places in the world. People talk New York, LA, yeah, to a degree. And, I've been both places and played both places. But Chicago has always had an incredible variety of opportunities for music. And,
I remember reading an article. It was talking about the Great Migration, and it was talking about how all the African-American musicians and dancers and entertainers came to Chicago, and boy, they found pot of gold here.
That's right.
And on that south side, got some great musicians that came out of there, and they talked about some of the places like, Woodland and all the different places over there. I even discovered a place that was called the Alley, where they used to go in an alley and actually make music. And this guy told me, one of the greats that used to come through there was Dizzy Gillespie.
How about it?
So Chicago has, when you talk about music, hey, this is a great place to be.
Yeah, that it is.
Okay, so you said your mother was musically inclined?
My mother was a musician, yeah. She played the viola. It's like bigger than a violin.
Oh, yeah.
And she played piano, and she sang, and she produced. And so I grew up, everybody in the family, all six of us, had to learn an instrument.
Okay.
I'm the only one that was foolish enough to try and make a living in it, So, but my oldest brother, he still plays.
So is that where you picked up?
Yeah, I picked up guitar. I had to start on piano. I said, "Ma, can I play guitar?" Well, try a wind instrument. So I played trumpet, and all I did was make it flatulent sounding. And then, Mom, can't I play guitar? Well, try another string instrument like the violin. That lasted about a week, and she finally broke down, and I got a guitar, and went from there. And then later on, attended Columbia College and music there.
Okay, now that we know that you are maybe an Illinois kid versus a Chicago kid, but you love Chicago. We know how you got started in the music industry. So why don't you entertain us?
Okay. I had a dream that my wife cheated on me.
Fill circles, everybody.
Proof that we all have insecurities, right? Because she would never do that. She's an amazing woman. And in the dream, though, I wrote a song, and I woke up and I wrote it down, and so this is it. Take Take me, baby, take me where I want to be. Take me, baby, take me where I want to be. If you can't take me, girl, I guess I'm setting you free. When I first met you, you were drinking water and wine. When I first met you, you were drinking water and wine. Now you're drinking all my whiskey, staying out all the time. Take me, baby, take me where I want to be. Take me, baby, take me where I want to be. If you can't take me, girl, I guess I'm setting you free. When we step out, you're always acting tired and bored. Or when we step out, you're always acting tired and bored. But once I leave, you're dancing all over the floor. So take me, baby, take me where I want to be. Take me, baby, take me where I want to be. If you can't take me, girl, I guess I'm setting you free. And all our friends look at me like I'm a fool. All our friends look at me like I'm a fool. But if you keep it soft, you can find another cage to rule. Shake me, baby, shake me like the fruit on a tree. Shake me, baby, shake me like the fruit on a tree. And if you can't shake me, girl, I guess I'm setting you free.
Hey, how about that? Little bluesy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little touch of the blues there.
Yeah, you can't not have blues if you're from Chicago.
Well, you know, I went through your website,
Oh.
and I saw some of the tours that you've done,
Oh, yeah.
and I saw some of your videos,
Oh.
and I knew you could sing blues because I saw that in there. And I was trying to think, what was the song that you sang when I first met you at the Flabby show?
I don't know.
I don't remember either. I tried to pull the video up because I knew I had video of you singing it, but I couldn't find it. I think it's because I've been there. Like,
Was there a lot of finger picking?
it was you and another guy, Candlesticks.
Oh, Morgan McCandless?
Yes.
That brought him down.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay, yeah, I think I remember that video too.
Yeah.
Shared with me. Yeah. I think I remember what song that was. Another blues influence one. So.
Now, is he in Chicago too?
No, he's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Yeah, so he came down here. You know, anytime I run into some kid trying to make his way up in music,
right.
If he has something going for him, especially I try to help him out however I can.
So you give back.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that's great. That's great.
I don't understand how you can't if you're in music. I mean, it's an art of giving. So all art is giving, but it's a giving thing. To be a musician, and I've been fortunate in that for 30 years. I've made my living. Sometimes a good living. Sometimes I'm scraping by, but I've made my living doing what I love to do, and to forget that would be a huge mistake. Like I said, we're here to be happy, and part of being happy is helping other people. I mean, I feel good when I help people.
And plus, music is universal language.
Oh,
I don't care what language you speak. Yeah. You understand music.
That's right. Yeah, no question. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do your thing. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy. You might want to push up just a little bit so you can get in that video there. Yes.
Oh.
There we go.
So I've been like this before.
And talk to us about what you're singing. And I like the first one you said you thought your wife did. You want to repeat that?
I tell this story because otherwise it sounds like I'm demanding something of a woman, and that's not my style, you know.
Okay.
So it's just I thought it was. I literally woke up and still had it in my head. Now I gotta write this down. It sounds fun, you know. So I was like to tell the story. All right. When we all go through hard times, and when we get out of them, we are joyful, you know, for having gotten out of them.
Okay.
And we also reflect back on them. What do we learn from them? How do we grow from them? That sort of thing. And it can be painful looking over rough times, but it's also a source of healing. And to be able to share that, you know, you've been through some.
It's either a blessing or a lesson.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Well, you said it better than I ever did. So that was good.
Fill circles, everybody.
What I mean is I'm coming home after many a day. What I see, it's pretty cold, but I found my way, and I ain't gonna stop till I reach the top, and I have no idea where that is. I just keep on moving, try to hold the groove in, keep my rhythm any way I can. But what I mean is I'm coming home after many a day. What I see, it's pretty cold, but I found my way. I was crawling in the bottoms, they said they knew they got 'em, but I slipped away one fever shaky night, hanging on by inches. I think I broke the stitches in a faded foggy forest with no light. What I mean is I'm coming home after many a day. What I see, it's pretty cold, but I found my way. There's a couple angry people, a couple broken steeples, and a pile of rubble where the wind died down. Guess I didn't kill it, guess I just rebuilt it. The broken bricks laid firmly on the ground, on the ground. There's a couple angry people and a couple broken steeples and a pile of rubble where the wind died down. Guess I didn't kill it. Guess I'll just rebuild it. From the broken bricks laid firmly on the ground. On the ground.
All right. Well, I want to remind you that you are listening to the #1 internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, and iHeart radio station. This is Rhythm Flow Radio with the big girl of internet radio, Katie Lowe, and our special in-studio guest, Phil Circles. Listen, I want to remind you that today's show is brought to you by Oval Cleaning. Oval Cleaning, Inc., professional cleaning service, commercial and residential, carpets, windows, floors, and more, office and post-construction. Call Mike for your free estimate, 708-528-6825. Again, that number is, write it down, 708-528-6825. Oval Cleaning for all your cleaning needs. Now, Phil, you said that you gave back. I want you to tell me just a little bit about the organization called The Unsung.
The Unsung, that was a project that I did, a recording project where all but 2 songs on the album were by Chicago songwriters who, like myself, are lesser known. Mm-hmm. And so what I did was, using what I've already accomplished in the way of any kind of notoriety, online radio play, on-air radio play, that sort of thing. I used that to promote the Chicago scene a little bit harder and to show people that we have all these talented songwriters in Chicago, and they ought to be heard. And big part of the money from that too was about put into education, scholarships for music students primarily. So that was a one-time project basically where we raised money to do a recording project of Chicago songwriters. Like I said, primarily there were 2 songs that weren't by Chicagoans. I performed them all. So to show as well that I can go cover some guy's music you never heard. The thing to keep in mind is a lot of songs you hear on mainstream radio, if they didn't write it, somebody else did, you probably never heard of it.
Right.
So that's the way that the songs get out there. Somebody else picks it up. And so we did that, and then again, money also went to music scholarships.
A lot of people don't like R. Kelly, because of the dirt. Well, I mean, I always say you're innocent until proven guilty. Right. I'm quite sure that some people that know me probably say some dirty things about me, but I'm a fat girl and I don't care. I just don't give a what. I really don't. Yeah. I mean, as long as I love myself, that's the most important thing. And then I know that God loves me, so I don't care what the rest of them think. But my thing is, he wrote and produced a lot of music. He wrote and produced music for people that they had hits and you had no idea that he wrote them. Yeah. So there are some artists out here, that sing and write, but they do write for other people. Yeah. And once they get to talking garbage about it, that's when everything comes out. Yeah. When you write for like Janet Jackson and Whitney Houston, and I know he probably writes a lot of stuff for Charlie Wilson because it kind of sounds like his kind of genre. But that's interesting how somebody else writes the music, somebody else sings it. It gets to be a hit, and sometimes it sneaks out the grass if they didn't write it. Yeah. So you collaborated with other musicians?
Basically, I contacted every one of them myself and said, hey, I really like this song of yours. I'd like to record it in my own style.
Okay.
And, how do you feel about that? And every one of them said, I feel great about it. Yeah, please.
Oh, wow. That's good. So, absolutely.
Because they understood, too, the benefit of it. I mean, we all win with that. We're all in this together. One of the things I've had people elsewhere in the country ask me what the Chicago music scene is like. And I tell them it's very supportive. It's highly competitive in the sense of trying to get the jobs and trying to make a living. But it isn't that we're competing with each other. Like, oh, I got this gig, I'm not going to tell Jimmy about, that doesn't happen. It's the other way around. 99.9% of every musician I've ever met in this town is more like this. Hey, Phil, I really like your style. I know this place you got to play. I've played there a few times. They'd like you. Let me give you the guy's name, Or, hey, Phil, come on, my radio show, and I'm on the radio show, and meet you. Hey, come on, So everybody is very supportive because partly we know it's by all the cross-pollination, so to speak, we all benefit. It's what makes it such a lively scene. And so you have to be constantly giving back, constantly remembering that we're in it together. I do showcases every month where I bring in other people. Sometimes they're better known, sometimes they're not at all known.
So what you got? So what do you have in your garden that's going to be cultivating in the near future, should I say? I know you have something planted out there.
Yeah, I do. At my next show, we're going to be recording live, and I'm putting together a live CD. So, excuse me. And in addition to my regular teaching gigs and stuff, all I'm doing is writing. Like that one I just played is something I just recently wrote, and that hasn't been recorded. And I recorded it in the studio just to have a copy of it, available. But we're gonna do a live recording on my shows through the end of the year, and then gather up. Whatever.
So what do you have that's going on that somebody may want to come check you out, or you have something going on, a special venue within your next few weeks or next month?
Yeah, the 23rd of September, Friday, coming up a couple weeks at Uncommon Ground, 1401 West Devon Avenue. 8 p.m. the doors open, and there's a band called Alaska. They're coming in from out of town. They're opening with a set, and then I'm playing with members of my band.
You got a whole band?
Yeah, I've got a full band, yeah. I don't usually use them because I can't always afford them,
Oh, okay.
But I've been very focused on acoustic shows lately. But this is still going to be an acoustic-based show, but I'll have keyboards and a bass and another guitar and a backup vocalist, and we're going to record the show for the live CD. Then the following night, the 24th, the same lineup, Alaska, followed by myself. We're going to be playing at Elbow Room on Lincoln Avenue, 2971 Lincoln Avenue. And that's going to be a late gig, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And that one will just be me and my acoustic guitar.
Okay. You remember when we were talking before the show, and I was saying another acoustic guitarist that comes on the show is Kurt Michaels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and when you mentioned Uncommon Ground up on Devon, it came back to my head because he plays the acoustic guitar. Now, what's so unique about that guitar?
This guitar, what's unique about it for me is it's almost as old as as long as I've been playing music. I started playing 30 years ago, and this guitar is about 30 years old.
Really now?
I mean, I started making my living, started going on playing professionally about 30 years ago. But any guitarist will tell you that the way they choose a guitar is it's not by brand name.
Okay.
This happens to be a popular brand name, more expensive one nowadays, but it wasn't so expensive when I got it. But they pick up the guitar and they play it. If it fits right in their hands and plays the way they like a guitar to play, if it has sound that they're looking for, they get it. And so that's what's most unique about the guitar for me, is it's my guitar. It's the guitar. I've played a lot of different guitars over the years. I always had more than one, but this is the primary one, and I got it by a fluke. In Albuquerque, New Mexico. My other guitar broke, and I walked into a piano store, and they had guitars on the wall. And I was looking at a different one. The guy pointed at this one, and I took it down, and he said, "We're shutting up. We're blowing out the guitars because we're getting rid of them. It's a piano store." And so I got it for real cheap, and I've had it repaired a couple times and stuff. But this thing's been all over the country with me. And, in fact, it's been to Europe with me and stuff. I'd buy a seat on the airplane for it if I had to.
All right, entertain us with another Phil Circle. Phil Circle is original, something you wrote.
All right.
Okay. Phil Circles on acoustic guitar, y'all. Enjoy the music.
Passion burns like boiling water, coursing through my veins. Sometimes it seems like people can't do anything but complain. Get up and take a little action, we'll carry you over the wall. Get up and take a step forward every time that you fall. Altitude, gain a little altitude. Think you got nowhere to go, think you got nothing to say. Think about all that you know, think of how you live every day. You're feeling jaded and tired, feel you can't take anymore. Just try and turn a handle, you always will open a door. Altitude, gain a little altitude. What's the price of human dignity? Every one of us shines like a polished diamond. When you look inside, what do you see? We don't always like what we find when we look inside. Gain a little altitude. Passion burns like boiling water, coursing through your veins. Don't it seem like people can't do anything but complain? Get up and take a little action, we'll carry you over the wall. And I'll be there for you every time that you fall. Altitude, gain a little altitude. Altitude, gain a little altitude.
All right, that's Phil Circle on the #1 internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, and I have radio station. This is the big girl of internet radio, Rhythm Flow Radio, and I'm Katie Lowe. Listen, Phil, I know that you teach music.
I do.
Oh, listen. Okay, since you teach music, what if somebody wanted some coaching or music lessons? What instruments do you teach? You coach vocal coaching. I mean, whatever. Tell us a little bit about that.
I teach privately or small groups. I've done both. Privately mostly, just by numbers. I teach guitar from the absolute beginner to working professionals. Same thing with the voice. Contemporary styles of voice. I don't do musicals and opera,
Okay.
But rock, blues, jazz, R&B, whatever.
Okay.
And any style, because if you learn your instrument properly, you can apply it to any style you want. So I've had students. I've done vocal coaching for people in rap. DJs who wanted to learn music theory, I've worked with. I've had a great number of students on guitar and voice that have also become songwriters. I coach in that. And a lot of them have gone on to do what I do, a lot of my students. But yeah, and you can just go to my website, philcirclemusic.com.
Okay, repeat that again. This is if they want coaching or to be taught music, they can go where?
philcirclemusic.com. Phil Circle, my name, music.com. No dashes or dots or anything until the comes. You can get all my music on there, but you can find me on there. And you can just punch my name into Google, Phil Circle, and my Facebook page will pop up. It's got info on it too. I'm on everything, and it's all got my name.
Are you on Instagram and Twitter?
Yep.
Okay.
At Phil Circle or at Phil Circle Music will get you everywhere.
So it's not complicated. All I got to do is put in Phil Circle.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you know how people have.
Oh,
every other. They have their name and 100 different numbers and dots and dashes and everything.
That's the beauty of having a strange last name.
Okay.
Or shape for a name. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just Google me. And my phone number is on all the pages and my direct email and everything. So I make myself pretty easy to get a hold of.
Okay. Now I want to be nosy and I want to ask you: have you ever? You know how have you ever collaborated something with any Grammy-winning artists or some that have been nominated for? I'm just nosy.
The song I played, not this last one, the one right before it, I recently went and recorded with a guy who recorded one of my albums. In fact, he's retired now and living in Chicago, a guy named George Bell.
Okay.
And he has worked with absolutely everybody. Like I was joking one time that I was like, I think I have a man crush on Will Smith. And he fist bumped me, but he's like, yeah, he was great to work with. I said, excuse me?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he worked with him. But he has an Oscar. He was part of the team that did Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Really now?
And a number of other movies.
So you've collaborated some music with him?
Yeah. He produced one of my albums, and recently, like I say, I just went over to his place. I called him up. I said, hey, George, I wrote a new song. I'm going to record it. And he said, yeah, come on by. Just sat in his apartment, and he recorded me. But,
Is it studio?
He's got a home studio, yeah, but he has worked out of big studios. He's almost 70, so he's pretty much retired.
Yeah.
But he's just amazing to work with.
Do you ever retire in music?
That's the thing. He doesn't. He says he's retired, but then every time I turn around, he's doing something.
I looked at B.B. King. He played almost up until he just couldn't play no more.
That's right.
And I don't know. I look at my own cousin. My own cousin used to play with a group called Tower Power, and he went solo. Lenny Williams. He's still out here.
I couldn't imagine retiring. My grandpa, he died at age 95, and he kept going out and singing every week.
I guess when you can go out there and make that kind of money singing a song or two, why retire? I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's not hard work because it is. It's physically challenging.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, just to get up in front of the audience, you gotta have you gotta be mentally and physically ready for that.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
And then you get up and get in front of an audience, and you're not getting reception. That you don't get that warm feeling, that welcome feeling. I mean, that could be mentally challenging.
Yeah.
So it's definitely hard work, but I don't know. They just never seen. Look at Ron Isley. He's still out there.
If you love it, you keep doing it. And
Yeah, I
the only
guess
reason to do it is because you love it. I've told young teenage boys who came in for guitar when I a couple of times I asked, I always ask them why they want to do this. There are a couple of times that they said, because I want to be a rock star. I said, get out of my studio. And they looked at me cross-eyed and they said, because you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you're doing it to become a star, that's not the point of music.
That's not the point.
We've only had recordings for 100 years. Before that, it was, people could have an element of fame to their performance, but it's always simply been something that, when somebody in the family would learn an instrument and sit around after dinner and play music for everyone. That was before recording more than 100 years ago. That was the only way to hear music. So it was just sort of a given that we had it around us all the time. People think you got to become famous or something.
Music has come a long way.
Yes.
The sounds of the music has really come a long ways. I mean, there was a time when R&B was in my era, was the music. Then they jumped out with rap, gangster rap, drill music. I mean, just all. It has took a turn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet at the core, it remains the same.
Yeah.
It's about telling a story.
Yeah.
It's about emotion. It's really the thread might change colors, so to speak, but the music is always about the same thing. And,
You're right about that.
And with our access to so much information nowadays too, you can tap into so many ideas, and you can be an independent artist and be heard throughout the world. And so I've had people contact me on my website. It tells me where people are in the world. There's people in China, signing
Well,
up
like
for
you say,
emails.
music is a universal language.
It is.
You may not speak English, you may not understand English, but they do understand music.
That's right.
Okay, no matter where they are.
Same thing for me. My Spanish is pretty lousy, but when I lived in New Mexico, I heard a lot of great, like Tejano style music, and I just loved it. I had no idea what they're singing about, but I loved it. It's great.
Listen, I've enjoyed having you here. Listen, I want to remind everybody to tune in next week. Today I had acoustic guitarist Phil Circle. Next week, you're not going to believe this. I'm going to have a rap artist.
Sweet.
But a rap artist with a very positive meaning. Now, he does some drill music, but the music that he's going to present to us next week has to do with a struggle. It has to do with relationships and some Black Lives Matter movement.
That's originally what it was all about, wasn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
right, absolutely.
that's awesome.
And his name is A1 Nero. So I want to welcome him to the platform. We'll be here next week at 5 o'clock. I'm going to leave you with my saying, and Phil is going to take us out in song. I may disappear, but don't worry, Phil will be here. I want you to remember this. Regardless of race, close your eyes and become blind. People should be looked upon as individuals. Let's get rid of the race card and look upon each one as individuals. When you see somebody walking down the street, don't be afraid to say hello. Whether they turn their head or look at you crazy, just say hello and keep walking. You will never believe what hello or smile can do for somebody. Okay, you've been listening to the number one internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com. This is Rhythm Flow Radio. You can catch me every Friday right here. Listen, Bill Circles, take us away.
Even with the sun shining down, I feel the rain. Every morning I know right away that it came in the night. I remember when the rivers ran down to the sea. Got a parcel back and heavy on my back like a world of trouble. Gave it to me, double in its I can't say it's right, it's right. The world brought down, can't hear a sound down to the sea. And the thunder leaves it on us under to the sea. Thistle back and on, live with all the drama. She'll like it, come on, so she'll shoot you down to the sea, down to the sea. Even with the rain falling down, I feel the burn. And the sky turning horn says we're done with them. I remember when the rivers ran down to the sea. I remember when we swam up from the sea, down to the sea, to the so shoot you down to the sea, down to the sea. Even with the sun shining down, I feel the rain. And the sky turning on says we're done, we're done. I remember when the rivers ran down to the sea. I remember when we swam up on the sea. I remember original man up on the sea. Down to the sea. Take me down to the